Hey, Adam Hooksema here from ProjectionHub, and in this video I'm going to be showing you our 13-week cash flow forecast specifically for contractors. It could be a general contractor or subcontractor, whether you're residential or commercial. Cash flow can be a major issue for contractors, and you've got all these different projects going on, all with their own unique cash flow assumptions and implications, along with just your normal payroll, insurance, your regularly monthly payments that also impact cash flow. And trying to keep track of all that in your head can be a nightmare. And so that's why a lot of times folks will utilize a 13-week cash flow forecast. That's kind of the standard 13-week cash flow forecast. I don't know why 13 weeks. I guess that's about 3 months. So maybe that's why that became the norm. In this example here, I'm going to be showing you actually a 26-week cash flow forecast. So if you want to go out 6 months, we have that ability here. But what I'm going to do is just kind of walk you through this model that we have and show you how we can help build this out for your unique scenario and situation. I'm going to start here on the kind of the end of the process. This is the cash flow projection tab. So once you're all done entering in all your assumptions, what you're going to get to see is a very simple kind of starting cash balance here. What's your cash at the beginning of the week? What cash is coming in from revenue and other sources of cash? What cash is going out for materials, subcontractors, your weekly expenses, your payroll expenses. You have some one-time expenses, capital expenditures. So maybe you're going to get a new vehicle or a new piece of equipment, and you want to kind of play around with when you're going to get that based on what kind of cash you have available and kind of planning all of that out. So this gives you that weekly detail. Now we're able to customize this and really, kind of to your heart's content. So if you want to see additional kind of cash out details, or if you want to see cash in by project on this page, we can do that. We can show you that. So there's lots of flexibility in what we can produce here, but let me show you how the model or the structure works here. So there's a couple cool features. We're going to start here by looking at this project status type. So you can have projects that are in progress, expected projects, completed projects, and then proposed projects. So for example, a proposed project could be something that you've bid on and you want to kind of see what would it look like if we win this bid. We want to see what cash flow would look like if we win the bid so that we can plan appropriately. But you might also want to say, let's just see what cash flow looks like if we, just based on the projects we already have, the ones that we know we're going to be working on. So you can kind of toggle that. And then based on that, this project for example, since it is categorized as proposed, it will get excluded in the cash flow projections since we're excluding the proposed projects up here. Now we've got 4 example projects in here. You can see, their status, the projected revenue, material cost, labor cost, your start date and end date, and then the average days to get paid. So this could depend on who you're working with, if you're a subcontractor, you might know this general contractor pays in 30 days, this one tends to pay in 60 days or whatever that might be. So you can set those specific assumptions based on the job. Now we're able to easily insert as many projects as you want, right? So we could insert 100 projects for you if you wanted that. And then you can put in those additional details. This will just give you some kind of at a glance. Here's your kind of cash receipts that have been entered, what the variance is between cash receipts entered and the total projected revenue here. So you can see kind of what's still outstanding. And then the same thing with the material costs. Here's the material cost expenses that we've actually entered. And we'll look on the next page here, the next tab, to show how you kind of come up with these. But so far we've had 150,000 worth of expenses. We expected 500,000, right? And so there's a variance. All right, so let's look at how this works. So again, you're going to be able to enter in the details of each project. So you'll select project 1, and then you can add in different payments, right? Your cash receipts. So this would be payments on the job, when you expect to invoice for those, and then when you expect to receive it. The receipt date is going to be based on the average days to pay. So for example, if we said, okay, for project 1, we think right now we're showing March 3rd, we're going to receive that payment. Let's say this is actually going to be 45 days to pay. Come back here and you see it automatically updates to March 18th, for example. So we can kind of set all of those assumptions on the receipts. And then on the expense side, so here's where you can enter in as much detail as you want on the material and subcontractor. So again, rows can be added above the table here. So you're going to insert a bunch of rows here, and we could have, so project 1 could have 50 different individual line items if you wanted to, with 50 different individual dates and amounts, get into real granular detail if you would like to get to that level of detail. We can also set up different specific terms with certain suppliers or certain subcontractors, or if you want to break things into categories like materials or specific subcontractor related expenses, because you may have different terms with different vendors or different terms with different subcontractors, and that all does play a role and an impact on your cash flow. And so we can customize that for you to really help dial this in. And the goal is to really help you feel like you can sleep at night and you're not sitting there thinking, oh, okay, this payment's going to come in 3 days, and then we've got this one to go out. And I know that that can be really stressful and that you're trying to keep it all cash flow model in your head. And so we want to get that down on paper, get that down into a spreadsheet here that is going to make your life easier and let you sleep at night. So that's the goal with this process. And we want the tool to be something that is a working, living document that you can use. It's not a one-time thing. It's something that you continually keep updated on a rolling basis so that you always can see, hey, here's what it looks like going forward. As part of the process of working with you to put this together, we're going to do a couple different training sessions. So there'd be a training session with our CPA on staff who would help walk you through kind of how to set it up, get it filled out for you if you would like. You can provide us the data and we can get it input for you initially, but then we want to train you to be able to use it yourself so that you can use it on an ongoing basis. One more tab here is our expenditures tab. And so this would be expenses that are kind of unrelated to specific projects. So it could be debt payments, and you can set what day of the month. You have a loan payment of $25,000 on the first day of the month, for example. We know we have a software payment on the second of the month. We have rent on, the 15th of the month, or whatever that might be. You might have one-time operating expenses. So maybe in the building we had a plumbing issue, had to call the plumber. We add that in there. Capital expenditures. Let's say we're going to buy a piece of land, or we're going to buy a building, or we're going to buy a piece of equipment, and we want to kind of project out when that's going to happen so we can set a date in the future. And when you set all of these dates, again, there's so many different cash inflow, cash outflow coming in and out on different dates. It's really hard to be able to kind of see, when am I going to have a shortfall in the checking account, until you kind of do this process of getting it all on paper. And then you're able to see, here's where, this week, based on these inflows and outflows, here's the week that I think we're going to be short, right? That's the idea here, to be able to help you, again, sleep at night, not have to be trying to do cash flow modeling in your head, not trying to be last minute scrounging around to get money to make payroll because you saw it coming 4 weeks in advance that, hey, this is going to be a tight window. If somebody pays us a little bit late, we're going to be really tight. And so we want to hit that head on earlier. We're going to wait to pay our bills a little bit longer than we normally would, or we're going to try to get a line of credit in place. Again, that's the idea of this. What we do here at ProjectionHub, we help people create financial projections. And a lot of that is often for trying to apply for an SBA loan or trying to raise capital from investors. This is a little bit different than kind of our normal 5-year financial projection that we would do. What we have learned from doing quite a few of these kind of custom models for contractors is that there's not really a good one size fits all. From our experience, if you really want to get this tool to be able to really work for your business and really give you an idea of what cash flow is going to look like, then it needs to be customized. It needs to be customized to your unique situation and filled out based on your specific details. So this is a little bit different. Most of what we do is offer projection templates where we'll sell the template without any service, and it's kind of a do-it-yourself option. What we found is that this is just a little too messy, a little too unique, a little too custom to really give a useful do-it-yourself option. And so what we're doing here with this offering is, you'll get a chance to connect with our CPA, Grace Cisna, another financial modeler on our team, who will be able to get this customized and filled out directly for you and make sure that it's working, train you how to use it. What we found is that if we try to just do it over a video and we're not doing a kind of a one-on-one call with training for your unique situation, that it just doesn't work. It doesn't stick. What we're going to do here is we're going to put a link in the description of the video below to a page that talks about the service and how we can help. And ultimately, you can fill out a form on that page to connect with us to request a quote for your unique situation. If you're a $1 million commercial electrician, the amount of work that would go into this would probably be quite a bit different than if you are a $100 million general contractor. Again, what we found is that really kind of understanding your unique situation, kind of customizing what we're going to propose works best. And so we ask you to fill out that form, give us a little bit more information, and then let us come up with a proposal to get this customized for your situation. I hope that's been helpful. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com, and we'd be happy to help. Thanks.